All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the show. Thank you all for joining me. We're gonna let the chat or the stream fill up a little bit if it's gonna fill up anymore. So we're gonna get into some random stuff here for a little while. Oh, I'm gonna see who we got in the chat here this morning. Let me see if I can pull up my. There we go. Awesome. All right, see who we got in the chat this morning. We got Mr. Media in the chat this morning. How's it going? How you doing? Thank you for joining us. We got Doc. We got Brian Friedlander. Oh, Brian, thanks for joining the thanks for joining the members. I appreciate that. Brian's one of the very new members of the stream. You guys welcome Brian or the membership. And we got my brother Larry in the stream this morning. Good morning. We're gonna wait to start the show a little bit, you guys. Give it a few minutes to fill up a little bit here. While we wait to do that, I'm just gonna go over what we're gonna go over on the show today. Basically, I'm just gonna talk more about my experiences with the A5X2. I'm gonna touch on the AI topics that I'm gonna cover this week, but I realized in doing the research for the AI that, man, it's extensive. There's a lot to talk about on the AI front. There is a lot to talk about on the AI front. So that's something that we're gonna have to take a little bit of time with. So I'm gonna do that too. Mr. Ling, what's going on? How you doing? Good morning. Thanks for joining us. As you guys can see, it's a gloomy day here in Philadelphia. It's raining and cold. It's the double whammy. Raining, cold. I hope you guys are having a better day wherever you're at, though, in the world. But yeah, the AI topic is going to be a little more extensive than what I thought. So I'm going to have to get that together a little bit, but I will hit on like some of those topics today, or just like as an overview to talk about them. Yeah, while we wait for a little bit, let's go ahead and get into some Reddit. Let me see if I can pull up my. Can I pull it up? Oh, there it is. All right, let's see if we got this up here. All right, yeah, there we go. Oh, let's see if we can hit up Reddit before we get the show started here. I love this post. This is my favorite Reddit post. This is a post that got me started on my YouTube Reddit adventures. What do we got here? Okay. Well, I'm just starting my Reddit account too, you guys. So it's not really, my algorithm for Reddit is not good right now because I've had a Reddit account for years, but I just started a new Rants About Tech Reddit account. So it's still learning what I'm searching and all that good stuff. So I may not have as many good hits as I had on the last account, but I'm trying to work this account up. So, all right, let's check it out. What we got here? I'm trying to find some salacious on Reddit today. All I'm seeing is positive vibes for the A5X2. Are we in? Is everyone seeing that too, or am I being delusional on that? I hope I'm not being delusional on that. We had a question here though. Oh, Doc says, "What is the best SD file format to use on the Manta? I got a 512 gigabytes since I only want to take the cover off once." Yeah, you know what? I was thinking that. You know what, Doc? I was thinking that same exact thing last night. I was thinking the same exact thing. I was like, you know, I don't like the back of the A5X2, and I would like to make a new one. So I'm gonna start designing that. But in the meantime, I was thinking that if I did that, it would be a semi-permanent thing to where I would have to take the skin. Essentially, I'm thinking about a skin. I'd have to take the skin off, and then take the back off, and then take the SD card out. But if I just threw a 2 terabyte SD card in there, that's the biggest size you can get right now. You can't get bigger than that. So I'm like, okay, if I just threw a 2 terabyte SD card in there, I wouldn't care about taking the back off again, unless it broke, and in which case I would be taking the skin off anyway. So yeah, file format. Unless you're talking about SD card speed, for the Manta, I don't think it matters because I don't think you can transfer data anywhere near the max of what SD cards can do today. I don't think you have to worry about that. The Note Air 4C proved that point to me. I tested the Note Air 4C against my computer for SD file transfers. My computer blew it out of the water, so I know what the specs are on my computer. Well, not the computer, but the dock. So I have a dock connected to my computer, and that dock was transfer SD card speeds at a certain speed. I know what speed it transfers at, and I know how fast it would transfer. So I tested that up against the transfer speeds on the Note Air 4C, and like I said, garbage. And I can't imagine Ratta caring about the SD card file transfer speeds on their device if Boox doesn't care, or if Onyx doesn't care. I could be wrong though. Maybe they have awesome transfer speeds. I'm not sure, but right now my idea is, you know what, Doc? I'm putting that on the test. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do a SD card file transfer test to see if the transfer speeds are faster than the Note Air 4C. To see if the transfer speeds are faster than. I got a couple other devices in here that use SD cards. Morning, Rock. How's it going this morning? So yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll put that on my list right here. Test SD cards. Thanks, Doc. I appreciate that. So I'll put that on my list of things to test for the Manta. That was nowhere on my radar, to be honest with you. So I'm glad you said that because it definitely is something that probably people could take advantage of knowing the speeds on these different. And you know what I can do? This is what I'll do for you guys. I'll test the speeds on the Manta for the SD file transfers. Morning, CJ. How's it going? Thanks for joining us. Let's get the air horns going. There you go. All right. There you go, CJ. We get the air horns going for you coming in the room. But what I'll do is I'll test the I'll test the file transfer speeds of all the devices that I have that you could do that with. And I'll test those speeds up against the known speeds of SD cards and the known standards. And I'll match up the standards with the device. So we'll figure out what standard they're using, because all we have to do is just match the speeds up. So that's what I'll do. And no problem, Doc. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right, so Reddit. Let's see what we got on the Reddits. We got nothing happening on Reddit today. Like I said, I'm still building this account up. So, I mean, I'm assuming it's gonna take me some time going through stories and stuff before it realizes what I like and don't like and try to serve me up some good stuff. Entry line was in the chat last night. I appreciate that. It was awesome to see entry line in the stream last night. Okay, so all I'm seeing is drawings. I'm not really getting any salaciousness. Oh, are people getting their mantas on time? Oh, let's go to the chat real quick, because if you guys didn't know, I'm getting into 3D printing. This is a sidetrack. You know, maybe we should get the show started, because we got a few people here. We can go to the chat and then we'll get the show started, okay? All right, so Rock says, for tomorrow, resin equals SLA, good for fast prototype, print speed, and art prints. Nice surface, but fragile. Okay, not much choice on materials. Filament equals FDM, good for mechanical prototypes, can choose from many durable filaments, but slower and poorer surface quality. That's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to basically do a filament printer for prototypes, just for fast iterating. Just so I can come up with something, make it, without having to go through a whole chemical process with the resin. Get the dimensions refined, get the process refined, then go over to a resin. See, my thing too is I would be willing to get a cheaper filament, because I don't care about the quality that comes out of that. I just care about the iterating fast and quickly on something without a chemical process, right? I almost feel like I need to get a really good resin 3D printer though. Just to make the final products, right? Because like you just said, Rock, the surface is gonna be smoother. I also know that the resolution is going to be higher on those resin 3D printers, so that's also a thing. All right, so let's go ahead and get this show started here. Because we didn't find anything on Reddit. Nothing too big. I'm willing to search up stories if you guys see any, though. Let's get into it here. All right, you guys. Good morning and welcome to another episode of Rants About Tech live for Monday. What do we got? November 16th here, 2024. I appreciate you guys joining me. Today, like I said, we're not going to go over much of the AI because it became more of a thing than what I thought it was going to be. So a little more research is going to have to go into this AI thing that I want to present over the live, because I want it to be something that I can just cut up and put out as a video as well. There's a lot of good stuff in the AI space, and we're going to go over that. I'll probably touch on it today, but we won't really go into detail with that. What we will do though is talk more about my experiences with the A5X2 today. We're going to talk about the pins as well. We're also going to talk about a couple more pins. There's a Google pin I wanted to look at, a Google Pixel pin. Did I say December? Oh boy. I mean, did I say November? My bad, December. The chat's corrected me. I appreciate that. We want to check out the Google Pixel tablet pen. I'm not sure exactly what standard it's using, so I do want to check out some information on that. And we're gonna just do some corrections and some comments. So we're gonna go to the comments today too and look at some of the stuff because I found that there's some good information in the comments. That's definitely worth going over on the stream. All right. So first, I'm just gonna get the same as promotions. I did say November. Let's try that one more time. Welcome to Rants About Tech Live for December 16th, 2024. Today we're on. It's Monday. It's Monday. It feels like a Friday the 13th though. It does. I'm not gonna lie to you. So shameless promotions going up first. Ways to support the channel. We have memberships and we have a couple of members in the chat right now. Quite a few members in the chat right now. So I thank you guys for coming. We have membership polls. We have the badges, and we have a couple of at least one emoji right now. We got the orange is in the works. I might as well just go ahead and post it up. I already got it finished. I might as well just go ahead and post it up there. Those are just ways to support the channel there. Super thanks. Super chats are also welcome. We have t-shirts on the site. So let's go ahead and take a look at the site real quick. Where is it? Where did my site go? All right, so we got t-shirts on the site here. Let's pull that up. And that's another way to support the channel if you feel like supporting in that way. So thank all of you for your support, and thank you all for just joining me. So I appreciate that as well. So the first thing here is going to be CES live coverage. So I am going to CES. I kindly ask you guys to just drop anything you want to see at CES in the comments if you're seeing this after the fact, or you can just throw this in the chat if you feel like it as well. That's one of the things I want to get some feedback on is what people want to see, because I'm a newbie. I've never been media before. This is all new to me. So some suggestions on what you might want to see, and we can get some lives done while I'm there, and we can get all that stuff done. So any suggestions you guys have would be awesome. The next thing is going to be the A5X2. So I want to talk about my experiences with the A5X2, and we're going to also change the pen loop on the stream this morning, because I wanted to check out something that someone told me about the pen loop. So we're gonna do that as well. First off though is actually, you know what? Let's just go ahead and do that. Let's just go ahead and do that, changing the pen loop, because that's something that people can see the process of, and then I can talk like about stuff while I'm doing it. So it'll be a twofer, loop changing and discussion. All right, here we go. Let me see if I can put this down a little more here. All right, there we go. Okay, I guess we can see that pretty good. All right, so there we go. Have that there, and we do have so this is what we have here for the loops. Can we see these? So this is what comes in the package here, and there's two that comes in the package, and these two loops here, I assume they are different sizes, and one looks bigger, right? Maybe not. Maybe I'm just imagining this. Let's see if we can push this up to see if it's, there we go. Now it's totally, I think this one looks bigger. I think the one on the left looks bigger. And I think this one is a smaller one. Now I'm not sure which one comes on the device. Oops, this right here. I'm not sure if that's the bigger one or the smaller one. But what I'm going to do right now is, I'm going to put which one I think is the bigger one on, because what someone told me in the chat, I think it might have been Max. Max said that if I put the bigger loop on, maybe the pen will have more distance from the device, so it won't sit behind it. So what happens, this is what I'm trying to prevent right here. So what happens is when you sit the A5X2 flat on the surface like this, and you have a pen in there, you get some room. It don't sit necessarily flat. There's some wiggle room there, and that's what I'm trying to prevent. Let's go to the chat real quick before we get this started here. Mr. Media says, if you can capture some live demos of new tech, that would be cool to see from CES. Definitely. That's definitely gonna be on my list. Mr. Media is getting some tech that I think is cool, that's new, that probably will never come out, but it would be cool to see. I'm definitely gonna be doing that as well. So that's the problem I'm having with this, and I've been told that if I put the bigger loop on and have it sit further away from the device, that won't be an issue. So that's what I'm hoping to find out here. So first, let's go ahead and take the cover off. did we check the humidity? Is the wind going 5 degrees to the west? The dew point 20%. The barometer 5 atmospheres. I think we're good. I think we're good. We can do it now. We can do it. Oh, okay. See, I'm telling you, once the conditions are correct, it's easy. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and take this pen out of there as well. And they send this, they give you this screwdriver in the package with it to do this work with. So this comes in the package to do this. So good deal. It also comes with this here. I took it out in the unboxing, and I was like, dang, I don't know why I bothered with that thing because I don't know what it does. But I think it's one of these things that goes into here. And then you cut it to shape to like fit in there. A dust cover is what they call it, I think. But anyway, let's go ahead and take this thing off here. Oh, and by the way, the research on the AI will be done tonight. So I'm going to talk a little bit about it, but I'm going to go in depth on it tomorrow. So let's go ahead and get these screws off here. And the cool thing about the new AI to me is just that what was interesting and what made me want to start going into it is they called it agentic AI. And I just thought, oh, it's all about agents, automation. Okay, all right. Led me down a rabbit hole. Interesting stuff. All right, so we got one screw out here. It doesn't take much to get these screws out here. All right, that wasn't too bad. That wasn't too bad at all. All right, and you just kind of slide that out. And yeah, so this is kind of what I thought it was. It's just a plug that you can like put in there to keep dust out. So it's a dust plug. All right, so now let's look at these loops again so I can figure out which one is the bigger one, because I think it's this one. Yeah, I think the bigger one is this one right here for sure. It definitely looks bigger. Yeah, definitely. Yep. I mean, we can see that. Yeah, it's definitely bigger. All right. Now what about this? Oh, the one I took off looks to be bigger than the one I was about to put on. Yeah. This was an exercise in futility right here, chat. There was no way this was for nothing. All for naught. I got to put the one I had on back on because it is the biggest one. All the other ones are just increasingly smaller. Let's go to the chat real quick before I put this thing back on. Wow. Okay. All right. Cool. So I guess I'm just gonna have to deal with that. I guess I'm just gonna have to deal with that little bit of unevenness there, because I do have the biggest loop on, and I do want a loop on. I'd rather not have a loop, if that makes sense. Let's go to the chat real quick here. Rock says, in the same arena as eInk, maybe at CES might find things that are productivity and lifestyle centric. E.g., I am a fan of XR glasses like Vicher. Oh, okay. Google, one of the things I'm going to talk about is awesome. Made everyone a member. One of the things is Mashup Mike is just an animal. One of the things, and just for you, everyone joining me, what I did was I was taking the loop out of the A5X2 and comparing it up against the other loops that came in the box, which is 2 other loops, to see which one was bigger. And it turns out the biggest loop is the loop that's actually on the device. And I was trying to figure that out, and for the reasons we'll talk about here in a second. Oh, let's go back up. We suddenly got a bunch of more crew in here. Dennis, good morning, Dennis. How's it going? Do you think the cover on the A5X2 is a necessity? It seems really expensive for what it is. That is a good question. I'm going to my initial take on this would be no. Absolutely not. And we'll talk about why here in a second. And I'll write this down so I don't forget. And I'll write this in a different color too. That makes it stand out a little bit. All right. We got A5X2 cover. Okay. All right. So what else we got here? Rock says, as long as you're deciding, fit the pin to test. Oh, wow. Good point. You know what? We will do that. I'll fit the other ones just to test them, to see what it's like. eInk Unplug says, why not just have the loop on the folio? See, that's what we're going to talk about. There's lots of places you can put this loop, I think, that would be way better. Max says, morning, everyone. Oh, good morning, Max. We were just talking about you. Max must have felt the tingling. Spidey senses was going. He's like, no, I gotta join the stream. Something's going on. Doc says, what about template on the box to make a new pin holder? Yeah, absolutely. And that's kind of what I'm gonna get at here, because they made this in a way that there's lots of possibilities for you, and really easy possibilities, right? I was thinking about if they had made this a magnet, then it would require somebody to sew magnets and everything and all that good stuff. But they have to provide everything for you. All you got to do is provide the loops and the material. Anyway, and something longer would be kind of cool. All right, so let's go ahead and do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and test this one, because this is the one that I took out. So we're going to look at how this fits the pin first, right? So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to go ahead and this is the standard loop right here. So let's see how it fits the pin. This pin is awesome. We're going to talk about this pin too. So there we go. So even now you can see that with the pin in there, that it kind of sits, because of the loop, the way it is, it kind of sits behind the device. But the loop's elastic, so it kind of gives when you push down, so you can make it go flat, but it doesn't naturally sit flat. So what we can do is go ahead and take this out. And I think it's even more obvious when you have the cover on, but we see it happening there, so we're good to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this loop off and put the other ones on. Since we're doing this anyway, we might as well test all of them just to kind of look at them and see. And this will be good for the video I'm going to do about this process. So knowing that I've done it before on stream, this is one of the awesome things about doing a live stream in the line of work that I am in, is that you learn so much from the people that are in the live stream with you for testing purposes and just for ideas and stuff. So it's awesome. I love that. So thank you guys for joining. All right, so wait, let's see which one this is. I think this is the smallest one. So we'll just kind of gradually get smaller. We won't go to the smallest one. Yeah, we'll go to the medium one. This is the in between size. So this is the medium one right here. Shove that in there. All right. So on the AI tip too, so like I was saying, they have agentic AI is what I'm researching now, and all of the ways you can go about using it. They have an operating system called Google XR that works with a pair of glasses that they're developing, which I think look really cool, and we'll talk about that tomorrow too. All right, so we got the loop on there. All right, so now let's go ahead and test the pin in this medium-sized loop here, which I don't think this is going to be good at all. Yeah, it goes even further behind the device. It sits even more further up. Yeah, it sits even further up. So the smaller one, we're going to put it on there and just to test it with the Lamy. But it's going to be a tough sell with the small one. All right, so let's go ahead and take this off here. Google Notebook LM is something we're going to talk about too, Brian. I've been using Google Notebook LM since it came out. I was actually one of the beta testers for that that piece of software. And I was using Google Notebook LM before it had the podcast feature. And that podcast feature is really nice. One of the features that I unearthed in the newest version of Google LM is the fact that you can pause the not pause the podcast, but you can hit a button and the podcast will, the two hosts will come to a point to where they'll stop and then say, hey, we have a question from the audience. And then you can in turn ask your question of the two hosts and the AI podcast in Google LM or Google Notebook LM. And then you can talk, and influence the conversation. So when you ask your question, then they'll resume the conversation, but the conversation would be more guided and more pointed towards the question that you had just asked, which I think is awesome. That's just awesome. All right, so let's go ahead and try the pin here. Let's put it in the front. Put it in this way here. Oh wow, yeah, this is super tight right here. This is I don't think the pen will even fit in here. Okay, we just got it to fit. Holy. Okay, all right. So we got it. We got the pen in there. And like before, it's just even further under, so you have even more of a distance to compensate for. Yeah. So all right. So the default loop is the biggest loop on the A5X2. So the loop that comes in it is the biggest loop that comes with it. So if you have smaller pins, then they have a really small one, the one that's on here right now. And actually, let's see if it fits the heart of metal. Let's see if it's small enough to fit the heart of metal without. Well, I mean, you know what? Why am I tripping? It would be small enough to fit the heart of metal. Let's see if it's small enough to fit the I think I have the other one here. Where is it? Well, I had the clickable. I'm not sure where it's at right now, but we'll try the remarkable pen here just to see, because it's about the same diameter. Okay, so you can put even the harder metal with the smallest loop will have a problem. The biggest loop, it probably wouldn't have that sort of an issue because it's a smaller pen than the Lamy. So we'll go ahead and put the default loop back on there. That smaller one is really small, but let's try the remarkable here. Okay, so it'll fit the remarkable pen without dropping it and losing it. That's cool. So if you had a smaller pen like this, you could put the smallest loop on there and you'll be fine. Yeah. All right. Because this loop is the smallest loop. But let's go ahead and go to the chat real quick. We have whoa. We got a lot of chat to get to. Let's pause for a second. Let's pause this for a second and hit the chat up real quick. So, Doc says, good morning, gang. You guys are just congratulating everyone. What about template in the box? Okay, we did that. You can unstitch the loop and sew another loop on. Yeah, that's an option. And you could probably do that with the plug that they give you too. You can cut a piece of this off and just attach your own like loop, which would be a very cool idea. That clear Lamy is crazy, says Larry. It is crazy, bro. We're gonna talk about that Lamy. All says afternoon. How's it going, All? Afternoon. Still morning here in Philly. Brian said check out Google Notebook. Yeah, we just talked about that. We're gonna have more conversation about that. Mashup says I take my whole pen out when I write anyway. Yeah, it's not a problem for a lot of people. This loop problem I'm trying to solve here is not a problem for a lot of people because they take the pen out. Some people leave the pen top in, and if you're like me, sometimes you manipulate the tablet with just your fingers, like because I'm just looking at information. And in those cases, I have the pen in the loop because I'm not using it, but I'm still using the device. You see what I'm saying? So it's it creates a problem. Doc says test with your Lamy pen. Oh yeah, wow, yeah. We're gonna test with my Lamy here in a second. What do we got? Mr. Media says, how often would you be using the Manta with the pen in the loop? I do that quite often, like I just said. I think I just explained that. So I do that quite often. So what I'll do is, just to show, I'll have a pen in the pen loop here. We won't do that one. I'll have a pen in the pen loop, and I'll just navigate the device, right, with my finger. And the problem with this is that I use this sidebar here a lot. Okay, I use it a lot. And when you're constantly pushing the sidebar and the device is going down, every time you have to do that, it becomes a problem. So that's the issue. I'm having with that. I regularly use the device without the pen. If I'm just going through information, like the pen's only out when I'm writing, and if I'm not writing, I'm just gleaning information. I'm typically got the pen in there, but I'm still manipulating the device. So that's the issue I'm having with that. All right, let's get to some more of the chat here. Yes, the podcast features are awesome. Yeah, Brian's talking about the podcast features of Notebook LM we were just talking about, and they are very awesome features indeed. Dr. Ling. I don't think I got to Dr. Ling this morning. If I haven't said good morning to you, good morning, Dr. Ling. Maybe try using the pen loop by not sticking the whole thing through the loop, just the clip. Yeah, but see, my problem with that is that, which is another reason why I'm not really big on the heart of metal pen. So one of the reasons I'm not big on the heart of metal pen is that it's heavy, which is typically a good thing for me, right? I typically want a heavy, premium feeling, solid feeling piece of tech. The problem is that when you put it in the loop, even this, the smallest, which is the tightest one, you see you get a little bit of a sag, right? It doesn't align correctly, and I don't like that. When I'm carrying a device around, even with the case on it, it just sags, the pen does. And if you got the bigger loop on, like I'm going to need on mine because of the bigger Lamy pen, that sag on this metal pen is even worse. There's a few reasons why I'm not super big on the harder metal pens. That's one of them. Now, when I put the clear pen in, it's so lightweight that you can see, like I'm going to shake it a little bit to try to get it to sag. But you can see the sag is not anywhere near that level of sag. And if I'm just putting it in and just sitting there, it doesn't move. Like I'd have to wiggle it for it to do that. It just kind of stays perpendicular to the tablet. And I can carry it around like this and it looks super neat. Stays in place. It doesn't wiggle around. But like I said, by comparison, this just, if you're moving it, it's sagging. I don't know. I'm not big on it. But it does feel good and it writes really well. I just wish I could use it. I dropped mine. I dropped this. And we were talking about this on the stream last night. And they didn't believe me. They were like, "Oh, you dropped the pen?" Yeah, I dropped it. So the pen was sitting on my desk and it rolled off. And under its own weight, it fell on the tip, right on the tip of the pen. And it broke off a little piece. And I'm not sure if we can see that here, but it broke off a little piece by the tip. And I'm not super big on the cosmetics of it, so I'm like, I mean, I love the way this looks. This is a beautiful pen, so don't get me wrong about that. It feels awesome. It looks awesome, writes awesome. But the weight and the fact that it fell once and now it doesn't write the same anymore, just kind of bothered me. But yeah, so I'm loving this clear pen right here. The one they sent is really nice. And obviously, we have the ceramic nib Lamy here, the best pen on the planet in my opinion. But yeah, and the cool thing about this too is that it's as light as this pen. Like it might be lighter, honestly. But it doesn't move when you put it in the loop either. So it stays parallel to the device too. I don't know why that little thing bothers me, but I want it to be parallel to the device anyway. So this is how the aluminum Lamy fits in. So it doesn't move either. I mean, I love it. I love it. It sits in place just like the plastic one does. The aluminum is super light. I love this pen. I mean, it's the best of both worlds, right? It's like it doesn't have the weight of the Lamy, for better or for worse, but it has the all metal construction essentially, except for the part where you put your hand, which I wouldn't want to be metal anyway. It's a soft plastic that they shape to be super ergonomic, and I love that. And then obviously the button, right? But this pen is metal, but it's also super light. Has the clip, the button, ceramic nib. I mean, I can't, like, honestly, I cannot. The only way I'm gonna and Chad, I'm gonna say this. The only way I'm gonna get a better pen than this, I'm not even talking about anybody else. I'm just talking about me personally. The way I feel right now about this pen is so nice. The only way I feel like I can get a better one is to make it myself. Because there's nothing better on the market than this. Like, no one has shown me anything better than this yet. Just saying. Now, could the line, now the only drawback to this pen right here is the line darkness. Because of how Lamy programs their pens, they program the lines to be a little dark, a little lighter than the Supernote pens. Supernote programs their pens to be super dark. Like this pen right here is programmed to write super dark. And so is all the Supernote pens. They do something special in their pen programming to make them to make the writing characteristics unique to them. And Lamy doesn't do that. So yeah, but that to me is the only drawback. The lines are a tad bit lighter than what the Supernote lines are. But I just bump up the line thickness on my device and we're rocking and rolling. But anyway, but that's how I feel about that. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this loop off of here, and we can talk more AI while we do that. But actually, let's go to the chat real quick before I start that process. So Dr. Ling says not the most elegant workaround. Yeah, it's not, because it's going to flap around. Like if you put, like, this is what I was thinking about when it was suggested to just put the clip in. So if I did that with the Lamy, this is what I'm trying to prevent, the unevenness, right? Oops, can you see that? The unevenness of it. You see how it's not sitting parallel? That's what I'm trying to prevent. And if I've set any of the pins in just a loop, that's what it would look like. It would be the unevenness that I'm getting here. All right, so what else we got in the chat here? We got Dr. Lean, giggity. They bringing the giggity back. Oh, that's in response to Mr. Mike. Oh, I should have known. I should have known. I'm like, I expected that from Mashup. Rock says maybe not the pin in the loop, but most keep the Lamy cap in the loop. Yeah, and I do that. I sometimes I just keep the cap in the loop and not the whole pin itself. You can't manipulate the pin star without the pin. You are the pin star hater, Mr. Mike. I thought that was 2530. No, I thought that was The Rock. I thought that was The Rock that was the pin star hater. That was Mr. Mike who's the pin star hater. You hater. Doc says Mike causing chaos. Exactly. We know, Doc. I'm glad someone knows. Aaliyah, good morning. How's it going? Hello, I just joined. I don't know if you covered this or not. Just want to know the differences between Nomad and Manta, as I'm tempted to purchase both. It's just a size difference. No, and we'll go over that because that's one of the things on my list there, Aaliyah. Let me go ahead and write that down just so we don't forget it here. Okay, so and side button on the All-Star. Yep, actually, that's definitely right, Rock. Miss Derby Gal? Oh, Miss Derby Gal. Good morning. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. What if there was an option to put a pin loop on the left side? Would that help for people that use the right side slide bar without the L sidebar? Absolutely, Miss Derby Gal. That would do it. That would absolutely do it. Because that's my problem with it, right? So if the loop was over here, obviously that would create a case issue, right? But that would solve my problem. But what I'm going to do is try to create a loop that just comes out a tad bit further. And also this material right here, I hope I'm not giving too much away. But if someone makes it, fine, I'll buy it. And this material right here, I want to make a little more rigid, right? This will bend and stuff, and that's cool. But I want to make a material that will bend, but that's a little bit more rigid than this. So when I do extend the loop out, it still will stay parallel to the device, if that makes sense. All right, what else we got here? Oh, yeah, we'll leave that there while we talk. What else we got here? We got, The Rock says, 100% on the All-Star, writes lighter by default, but that's because there is much more dynamic range. Better for drawing, but takes adjusting for, oh, wow. Look at this. Look at this. Look at The Rock coming in the chat with the good news. Listen, that's another plus. Listen, you just turned one of my, the only negative I found on the Lamy that I love so much. You took the only negative that I could think of, the only negative, and turned it into a positive. You turned that frown upside down. Look at you, Rock. You did your thing this morning. Listen, I needed you this morning. Thank you. I appreciate that. You got up on the right side of the bed today and was like, listen, I'm gonna impart some wisdom on Rod today. It's gonna be groundbreaking. He's not gonna know how to handle it. I'm gonna turn his life upside down. I don't even know what to do with myself right now. I don't even know if I can continue to stream. That's how big that was. Okay. eInk Plug says, does Supernote allow you to send back pens if it doesn't fit our needs? I would hope so, because I would send this back. I doubt it though. I highly doubt it. What do we got here? Mr. Mike, it's me. Yeah, we know. But you know what, Mr. Mike? We all love you. We know who you are. We all love you. It's all good. All right, so let's go ahead and go to what was I talking about? Oh, let's go ahead and go to some of the chat questions. So one of the questions was A5X2 cover, is it necessary? Okay, let's talk about that. In my personal professional opinion, and it feels weird for me to say my professional opinion about something, and then I really mean that. I mean it. My professional opinion is, I don't think it is. I don't think the cover is necessary for a couple of reasons. The first thing is you got the loop already. So typically the cover brings the loop. The loop's on the device. So that solves that problem. The second thing would be the device is durable as crap. I could throw this thing on the floor right now. Nothing would happen. It'll shatter into 1,000 pieces in my luck. But theoretically, nothing would happen. It's super durable. The screen is plastic. It's got this Feel Right film over it that, like, if I wanted to, like, this is a metal pen that I'm just scratching over the surface of this thing. There ain't very many devices that you're going to do that to. And I'm doing this to it with a metal pen. I would not do that to this device. I wouldn't drop this pen on this device. You couldn't pay me to do it. I mean, you could. If I get 20 super chats right now, I got 20 people in there. If all 20 people give me a super chat right now, I throw it over my back and never look back. But you know what I'm saying? I would never drop this on this surface because it's glass under here. And I would never throw this device with the expectation that it's of surviving because it's metal and glass. It's going to break or bend or something like that. So this needs this cover. By the way, I found an ingenious way to put a pin on the Go 10.3. I just put this the flap that you're supposed to like unloop like this and put it over the thing. I just put it together, throw a pin in there, throw that right there, and we're good to go. We are good to go. You can even use the cover and pull it to the back, and it's just, we're good to go. I love that. See, this is the answer for me. They need a stronger magnet for it to be reliable though. But anyway, yeah. So that's the difference here. So you need a cover for a device like the Go 10.3. But for a device like the Nomad, you don't need a cover. It's nice. Looks good. It does add some functionality as well. But it's not necessary like it is on most devices because it's durable as crap. The screen, like the folios on most devices are protecting the screen, right? Like I said, I'm just running this metal pin across the screen, no problem. I'm dropping a metal pin on the screen, no issue. Like I said, I wouldn't do that. I mean, I wouldn't do that with a device that I didn't trust would survive that. And I'm supremely confident in this device. Supremely confident. So, yeah, you don't need a case. Is it nice? Yeah. So the functionality that the case adds is this. So let's go ahead and throw this in here. The functionality that it adds is this. And I've gotten better at those clips. And I want to talk about those clips too at some point because I'm getting used to them. And the more you get used to it, I think it becomes less odd. But for the newbie, it's odd. So it does add some functionality. So you can open it and it turns the device on, right? Bam. That's one of the functionalities of the cover. Again, you can sit stuff down and maybe you can sit stuff on top of it if you have the folio. Like I just can't see the device is so good and it's so weird to say this that like it's weird that the device is so good that it's so good till it's a detriment. Like it's so good that it doesn't need a case. Like typically when you say, "Oh, does the device need a case?" No, that's a negative. Like, "Oh, so I shouldn't buy a case for it." Like, typically that's a negative conversation to be having, right? But this device is so good it doesn't even need a case. That's how good it is. That's how well built and well thought out it is. So no, you don't need a case. Long answer, longer. What else we got here? The A5X2 size. So let's talk about the size real quick. So someone asked in the comments or in the chat here, does the size matter between the A5X2 and the Nomad, the Manta and the Nomad? Yes, the size does matter. Now, before I got this device, my thinking was size does not matter. Let's bring the Nomad over here. I thought the only thing I'm getting is more screen real estate, right? And I can write more on a page. And I thought that was going to be the extent of it. That is not the extent of it. Size matters. If you're trying to decide between, in my mind, if you're trying to decide between the Nomad and the Manta, the only criteria that you should be thinking about when you make that decision is this. The only thing that should matter to you is, do I need a small device? That's the only question you need to ask yourself. Every other question is irrelevant. Every other question is irrelevant. Do I need a small device? If that answer is yes, buy the Nomad. We wouldn't be having a discussion anyway if you knew that was the answer to the question. But if that answer is yes, buy the Nomad. If that answer is no, in every other situation, the Manta is going to be better. In every way, shape, or form, other than size, if you need a small device, the Manta is going to be better. And that's for a few reasons. One of those reasons is, we talked about it on the stream last night too, but we can go over that here, is let's look at the toolbar here. This is one of the reasons why I say that. Let's move this out of the way here. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the toolbar. Oh, I don't even have the Nomad on. See? And this thing shuts off only after 24 hours of not being used. That's how much I'm not going to be using this thing now that I have this. All right. So the first thing is the toolbar. You get more tools in the toolbar on the Manta because it's a bigger device. So more tools will fit in this toolbar. So that means less times you have to go to the menu to get a tool, right? Because it's just right there. Like this tool right here, the add. This is the tool to add a notebook or a page to your quick menu here. To get to that menu on this device, I have to click that. And then you can see here, oh, where is it? No, then you can see down here I have those options to add those notes to the quick menu. But right here, that option is just in the toolbar already. If you do that a lot, that's going to save you a ton of time. That's just super efficient, right? So you're going to be more efficient because a lot of the tools that you would have to go into a menu to get, like I just showed, or at least a couple of them, are going to already be here for you to pick. So that's one advantage of the size beyond just having more room, right? It's going to make you more efficient in picking tools. The second thing is this. Let me open here. Nope, not that. Is that going to go? All right. Awesome. All right. So the next thing is this. And this is more than just being able to write or having more space to write. This is, to me, this is like good because you have more space in the margins to write. I always use a template with a margin. It just helps me separate information and write in the margin to put notes and things about something I wrote instead of having to just edit it entirely, right? Just a quicker way of doing edits in my mind. I have a hard time writing time marks in this small margin I have here. I have ample room for timestamps in the margins here. So I'm going to want to do those things on this bigger device, not just because of more space to write, but I can just put more there without having to worry about space. It's easier to erase if I need to change a timestamp. This was a nightmare sometimes having to edit because everything is so jumbled and close. So I do think there's advantages to having a bigger screen, above and beyond just having more real estate. All right, let's go to the chat real quick before we head on with the show here. What do we got? We have, I can't say the name, but it starts with an N, and they're asking, how is the refresh and the write latency of the new Supernote? We can check that out. I haven't tested that. We can check that out. Let me write this down so I don't forget. Latency. All right, what else we got here? Dr. Ling says the Go 10.3 cover is a paradox. It's weird, right? It's somehow good and bad at the same time. For real, it's good because there's a couple things you can do with it, and it's super magnetic for the device. It holds it really well, so I like that. But the feel to me is bad. It feels cheap, but it feels good at the same time because of the material they have on the inside. It sounds good when you close it. It's weird. You're right. It's a paradox. What else we got here? Bozari works great. Posted about it on Reddit. What is that, Rock? Let me know what that is. Doc says, is your Reddit same as here? Yes, my Reddit is the same as here. It's Rants About Tech. I don't know how to change that to be your actual username because they just assign you one. But that's what I changed my screen name to, I guess. Mr. Mike says, Carter 1300, Mobius. It's awesome. Rock says, Kits Live showed that the touchscreen on the Manta was laggy, making the on-screen keyboard almost unusable. Have you seen the same? Yes, I even put that in my unboxing. Yep. The on-screen, I said it's like, it's in my unboxing video, which is coming out tonight or maybe tomorrow morning, but I'm still working. That video is over 30 minutes long, and I put a lot of time and work into it. I overproduced it to crap. So if you see it and you're like, oh, this is super, why did you do this? Just know I'm telling you up front, it's overproduced, but I had fun doing it. Anyway, I mentioned that in the unboxing. When I went to go put in my password for the Wi-Fi, you got to type that in. It was so painful. You had to be so intentional on picking buttons. So intentional. I never do that because I'm always writing. I use the global handwriting box whenever I can. But you have to be so intentional. You push the button, wait for it to respond. Okay. You push another button, wait for it to respond. I made the mistake of just trying to type it out. Well, I'm not a typer, but you know, tap it out. And it was terrible. But anyway, let's go ahead and get on to the rest of what we have here. What do we got? So the screen. I want to talk about the screen. Here we go. Here we go. I'm going to ignore that. So the screen though, the Nomad and the Manta. The writing feel is different. So again, I feel like the writing feel on the Manta is way better than the Nomad. And I don't think that's even an opinion. I think that's just it is better than the Nomad. The same thing with the Viwoods. The Viwoods has a Mobius display on their bigger device, and the smaller device has the regular like glass display, the rigid glass display, and it doesn't feel as good from what I hear either. So, yeah, definite divide in how they feel. Nomad doesn't feel bad, but you know and feel the difference in the writing experience on the Manta. Definite difference on that. We talked about the folio already. We didn't talk about the design. I got some design beefs here. That's my beef, Mr. Mike. My beef is with design. So, there we go. So my thing is, I really don't. The back. I feel like the back is just too busy. Like comparatively busy than any other device. I mean, just look at how clean the Nomad looks comparatively. Let's just do this. There we go. It just looks super clean. We can't fit them both, but just look at that. And then, oh yeah, there we go. We can fit the Nomad over here. We can just take my mug out of here too. Let's take the mug out. Bam. All right, so there we go. So it just looks super clean. Compared to the Nomad here. It just looks super busy. I don't know why. It's just a lot going on. For better or for worse. Design-wise, the design person in me says that I want something simpler. I mean, this wouldn't even look as busy if it didn't have the feet on there. But just for, this has feet too, so I guess it doesn't really matter. And we can just look at let's take a look at the Go 10.3. Ooh, what are those? Holy, what are those right there? Those are nice. Yeah, they're nice. I like those. Okay, so just busy, right? What else we got here? You don't even want me to pull this out. Oh yeah, we can pull this out. We can pull this out. But you see what I mean? Is it just me? Is it just me? It's just super busy. And I don't like it. I'm never looking at the back of the device. So it doesn't, I'm nitpicking. But I don't know. Super busy. Got the latch, the cutout, the screws. I mean, don't get me started on the feet. They're better than nothing, right? But they're about as effective as these feet that came on the Remarkable 2. Which is to say, not very. But we'll move on. But anyway, so that's one of my things. Luckily, I don't have to look at the back of the device, right? I don't have to look at the back of the device that often. Not a big deal. But I like design. I like good design. And yeah, we'll leave that at that. This is an awesome screensaver, though. It beats that dude leaning on a Jeep. Am I right? Chat, am I right? It beats a guy leaning on a Jeep. But yeah, let's go to the chat. Let's go to the chat real quick. Graphics Tech. Oh, how's it going, Graphics Tech? Glad you could join us. Yeah, it definitely had worse touch response than the Nomad. It was weird. Hopefully, that's not a hardware problem. Yeah, definitely worse touch response than the Nomad. That may be due to the Mobius display, but maybe not because there's a Mobius display in the A5X, and people weren't complaining about that as a problem on the A5X. Oh, Graphics Tech. Oh, I can't wait for you to unbox that. Man, the special edition Nomad and pen combination with the metal box, dude. I can't wait for you to unbox that. I can't wait. Why are you here? Why are you not unboxing? Not just joking. You guys, Graphics Tech has a very nice channel. Go check him out. Go subscribe. He does a lot of good tech reviews and impressions and stuff like that. And he's going to be doing the unboxing of the special edition Nomad with the clear pen. So you don't want to miss that. Go get subscribed so you can check that out. But I'm super excited to see that. Max says, on the screen, I found that ghosting is much fainter on the Manta compared to the Nomad. That's an interesting thought. Okay. Rock said, Rod, you said is best on Friday. Manta is like writing on a stack of paper. Nomad is like writing on a single sheet. Yes. Dang, I'll be dropping some gems, don't I? I don't even remember. That was straight bars right there. Freestyle too. I'm like Lil Wayne out here. Faisal? Fazzle. There we go. I hope I'm saying it right, Fazzle. I've never had the chance to say the name Fazzle before. I've heard it on a show before and I loved it. I never had the opportunity to say it. So thank you for giving me that opportunity, Fazzle. Good morning. Welcome to Philly. Will they ever come out with a larger color device? Supernote? No, they're totally against that, from what I understand. Also, do Supernote update their Android versions, or are you just locked into one version? That's an interesting comment, Fazzle. Because when I realized that they were still on Android 11, and if I'm not mistaken, the A5X was on Android 11 too, I was like, man, why are we not upgrading the Android version here? Like encryption. Dude, let's get this encryption going. That's the only thing holding the A5, the Nomad platform back from enterprise sales, in my opinion. If they encrypted this device with having the ability to never have it online, you can update it via USB. You don't need to be online for the handwriting recognition. Like those features coupled with encryption, dude. This would be a shoe-in for the enterprise market. How's the holding feel with the crease and screw noticeable? Oh. You don't feel it. You don't feel it. So what the Rock is referring to is this the latch right here and the crease in the back here. You don't feel it. You literally don't feel it. The back feels really good. It looks busy as crap, right? Like those things you would feel them and it would annoy you. You don't feel them. It's just a cosmetic annoyance, essentially. What else we got here? We have Tomas. Oh, Tomas, good morning. How you doing? Welcome to the chat. Fazzle, Ratta already said that they do not plan to do color yet. Yep, just clearing that. Graphics Tech says, yeah, I filmed the video already, coming out tomorrow. Yes, dude, I can't wait for that. I can't wait for that video, dude. Yeah, you guys go get subbed to Graphics Tech. I think this is gonna be a cool video. I definitely want to see it. I think that was such a good idea on Ratta's part to do that. The Rock says, oh, that's good that none of that stuff on the back is fillable. Yeah, it's not fillable. You don't, You never notice it until you turn the device around, which is almost never. I'm just like I said, it's a cosmetic thing that bothers the crap out of me from a design standpoint. But it never becomes a practical problem. just a imaginary one. But Monday's imaginary, and here we are. Yet here we are. Let's go ahead and go to the next thing here. The pins. Let's talk about the pins real quick before we go on to the rest of the stuff in the show. So I'm gonna go grab. Oh, there we go. I'm gonna go grab the Supernote standard pin. I need grippier socks when I do the live stream so I can scoot this chair back and forth with ease. Because right now it's difficult. I want to do the Tom Cruise, but it doesn't work in a chair. So yeah, we got these are the Supernote pins right here. Well, we can take this one out right here. That's a special one. But we got the pins here. The only one I don't have here is that Vista, the regular Vista. Is it the Vista? Not the Vista. The regular Safari. Which is a very cool pin. Which is the perfect pin for Ed. I'm glad he got that pin because for what he does, that was a perfect that fits in perfectly with his workflow. So this is the clear pin that it comes with here. I think I need to drop this down a little bit, you guys. Let me fix this exposure here. Ooh. Oh no, I don't. Oh, that's good. All right, never mind. Sometimes it looks washed out, sometimes it doesn't. We'll fix that for tomorrow's show. All right, so anyway, this is a very nice pin. I do like this pin a lot. One of the thing I like about it is how close you can get to the tip of the pin. Like that's the thing I like about it the most. And I like that it's light. You know what we're gonna do? I'm gonna see which one of these pins is lighter. Let's solve this problem right now. Let me get the scale. All right, I don't think this thing does grams. I don't think this does grams, but at least it'll. Ooh, we can see the camera up top there. Oh, that's a nice shot. That's a nice shot. So I don't think it does grams here, but we can weigh these things regardless. Okay. All right, here we go. So we got the Lamy with the ceramic nib. We got 0.7. Or, yeah, 0.7. I think that's ounces, yeah. And, whoa, 0.7 ounces. So they both weigh the same exact amount, even though this Lamy is metal, aluminum, it weighs the same as this plastic pin right here. That's incredible. That's really nice. I didn't expect that. Jay says remarkable release shapes. What? Hold on. Let's get the chat. Let's get the remarkable out. When did this happen, Jay? I'm about to check the update right now. We doing the update on live. Let's check it out, you guys. This is gonna be monumental breaking the shapes on the live today. We breaking news, y'all. Let's check that update. Oh, well, no, I don't. I don't have it. Well, let's check my release notes. I still have the line in the screen, if you guys are wondering what that is. I was writing one day on the Marker Paper Pro, and a line just like popped into existence out of nowhere. Legitly, it just happened. I'm like, what? A second one started to develop at the bottom, but it never popped all the way through. I still see it from time to time, but it's not there now. Reading boost, lay it all out. So I don't see anything that Track your tags. Organize notes easier when you have a system for tagging documents, notebooks, or single pages. Now you can look up a keyword like crossword and newspaper by searching for it. The results will show thumbnails. I think that's already a thing. Lay it all out. All right, other improvements. Unlock your paper tablet in a faster, more secure way. Now that digits you press don't linger. We fixed the symbol. Menu on type folio. What else? Lighter and gentle marker strokes are registered better, making it even more precise and to the point. Okay. I don't see shapes in this update that I have. Yeah. Let's check the Remarkable 2, though. Maybe that's got something. It's the beta 3.17. Oh. Oh, wow. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so I don't have the beta 3.17 yet. When did that get pushed to, guys? Yeah, I'd be super interested to know when that got pushed. Max does have the lowdown. Yeah, I'm gonna check the Remarkable 2 here, just for pits and scribbles. Let's check it out. Yep, I don't have that yet. Interesting. Okay. Coolio. All right, well, I'll be on the lookout for that. So I'll be refreshing for that beta. That should be cool. All right, so yeah, back to the pins here. It was interesting to see that these two pins right here both weigh the same amount, even though one's plastic and one is metal. That's an interesting thing. Oh, Jay, I'm not sure if you were here for this particular information, but I forgot who parted this information on me. The Rock. I think The Rock came up with this information. The lighter lines that the Lamy draws, they programmed it that way, because it allows for better range of line thickness when you're drawing. So that's why the lines are thicker, because it starts with a thicker line and allows you more range in the line thickness as you press on it and put pressure on the pen. So that was an interesting cut, because I always saw that as a drawback of the pen. I was like, okay, I'll live with the pen having drawing a lighter line because of the button. Turns out the lighter line, I would want it to be darker, right? But at least I know that it was intentionally done for a reason and not that it just draws a lighter line. So that was interesting. So, yeah, this pen just keeps getting better and better to me, man. Just keeps getting better and better. You would have to sign up for the betas, Ratta. Yeah, Jay, I am signed up for the betas. Yeah, I am signed up for the beta. Yeah, I just checked just to make sure. But yeah, so I think that's a really cool. I think that's a really cool thing that they do weigh the same amount. Both of them are light as crap. Obviously, if I had to choose one, I'd choose the all metal pen over the all plastic one, and obviously it has the button. But the writing is so good. I mean, the writing is so good on this because you just get so close. If I can have this experience with a button, I'd almost take that over the all metal Lamy if this had a button. Yeah, I would. If this had a button, I would definitely take this over the all metal Lamy, even though it's plastic. But being as it is, it's good, but it doesn't replace the Lamy for me just yet. So I haven't found a pen to replace the Lamy for me. And like I said before, like if they like I'd buy it if it was a better one. The only way this gets better, is it a darker line, is the only way this gets better to me. But like I said, knowing that it's more pressure sensitive, and that's the reason for it, helps for sure. Let's see what else we got here, chat. Oh. No, I'm glad it's out. I'm glad you told us that it was coming, because at least we know it's on the horizon. Somebody probably has it already. I'm sure they push it out in waves, like everybody doesn't get it at the same time. So thank you for letting us know, because hey, it's coming, and that's good to know. Circles are coming, and we already knew that from the guy on Reddit who had been drawing a circle every day until Remarkable put it in. He received a Christmas letter from Remarkable letting him know that they're going to be adding that soon. So the circles are coming, and the other shapes are obviously coming too. So that's good to know. Yeah, the Rock says if you press hard, you can get the same line things. Absolutely, yeah. I love that. I love that. It just that pen keeps adding value all the time. I learned something new about that pen, that like the double tap feature that I didn't know about on the button, that one of the people in the chat told me about a couple weeks ago. Like I did not know it did that. So that pen just gets better, like constantly. Mark Minch, the lightness of the lines should just be a setting for the sensitivity in the reader then. Well, you can do that. You can change the line darkness, right? And like I said, that's what I've resolved to doing, is just darkening the lines up on all my devices. So I start with a darker line. But to know that it has better degrees of pressure is awesome. Than your standard pen is awesome. I actually prefer heavier pens. My other Lamys are loaded with bits of lead. I saw that, Max. I saw your video. That was a cool video. And you know what, though? If done right, the weight could be a positive. But it's got to be balanced, right? It seems like the weight on this pen is just all down here. You know what I mean? Which causes it to sag like that. If the weight was more balanced, then it wouldn't sag, and I would feel better about the pen. About the pen programming, to me, that says the lighter line pens are more for people doing illustration. That's exactly what it is, Jay, and not for writing notes. Exactly. And like I said, I prefer a darker line. You're absolutely right. Max says, unfortunately, there's no way to add lead on the Lamy Vista. Yeah, not without it being visible anyway. Like they they made, so let's check it out here. So they made the Vista. Let's take this out. So this is the insert for the Vista here. And you know, you can't put this in anything else. The length is such that you can't put it in a normal pen. I tried to put it in one of my actual pens. Didn't work out. It doesn't fit as a replacement for this, obviously. It clearly wouldn't fit this. And obviously it doesn't work with, this is just a unique thing in of itself. It's its own little thing. You can't use this with anything that I know of. But that's interesting. Someone said they did some kind of mod with this. I'd be interested to see what that was and how well it worked out. So, so let's go into the chat real quick here. We got Mr. Media says, does the ceramic nib scratch the screen on the Go 10.3 over time? I ordered one of these Supernote pens. No, it doesn't scratch the screen. The ceramic nib doesn't scratch the screen on the Go 10.3. So what it is that these devices a while back didn't have protective layers over the top. So they would all ship with felt, and when people started writing on them with other like nib materials, it started scratching the screens. The manufacturers realized that was happening, and then they all started putting protective layers over the screens. So all of these devices have a really thin piece of layer of plastic over them. And in the case of this particular device, it's a plastic screen, and it's got a layer over it that is the Feel Right 2 film. The only device that doesn't have a layer over it that I wouldn't use a harder nib on is the Remarkable Paper Pro. The Remarkable Paper Pro doesn't have a protective layer over it, so harder nibs will scratch this screen. But it's the only device that doesn't, and it doesn't have a protective layer over it because they have nano etched the glass to give it a writing feel type surface. So they don't need to add a layer over it for that, because the glass itself is designed with that in mind. But every other device, even the Remarkable 2, has a film over it there. What do we got here? Okay, everyone's answering Larry's question. Good to go. Duroc says, like Jay said on the Go 10.3, if I'm writing block text and I don't want varying thickness, I choose ballpoint. Right, because ballpoint you can't put pressure on, right? It's not pressure sensitive. Different pens in the toolbar are pressure sensitive and some are not. So if you don't want the pressure sensitive nature of it, which actually, you know what? Let's try that. Let's try that. I didn't think about that. Let's try that. I'm just going to try a different nib here. So this is the line. So I'm going to try it with all the pins here. So this is the Safari Vista. So that's the Safari Vista right there. Let's get down here a little bit more. Okay. Vista right here. All right, and this is going to be the Lamy. Let me get it going. All right, so this is the Lamy. And this is the regular Supernote pen. And yeah, so you guys can see how the line thickness is different. But what I want to do now is check out this right here to see if that would be any different. So we're going to do all three again. So I'm going to tune this down a bit because it's a bit high to 0.7. So these are both 0.7 lines. One is with the first is with the ink pen, and the second set is going to be with the needle point pen, which is not pressure sensitive, from what I understand. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll do the Vista. Actually, we'll just write them on top of each other. All right. And let's go ahead and do the Lamy. Yeah. Okay. So that's that. You know what? So there we go. That test basically proves what we just said, right? And we'll just do the Supernote just for test sake. Okay. So yeah, that is a very good point. If you just use a non-pressure sensitive pen, and I wouldn't need pressure sensitivity with just writing notes, right? Because I'm not drawing. The line thickness is the same. The line strokes are the same. Yeah, I like that. Thank you. Man, I'm learning stuff about this Lamy and the Supernote all the time. That's awesome. So basically, I can get the same line thickness on both. If I'm just using that. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Yeah. So that is about the pressure sensitivity. Man, that's such a. I'm gonna do a video on that. Matter of fact, I'm about to put that in my notes right now. But I'm definitely going to do a video on that. That was awesome. Thank you so much, The Noise, for bringing that up. I needed that. That instantly took a negative for me and made it a positive. When those things happen in life, you got to be thankful for those. All right, so let's go to the chat real quick. Dr. Ben says, Dr. Ben, how's it going? I don't think I've seen you here before. Appreciate you coming. Still use the pen that came with my my Go 10.3 and wonder if I should get the Lamy. Dr. Ben, yes. Anything you like, I'm telling you guys, anything you can buy above and beyond what ships with these devices is going to be a benefit to you. Your experience with your device will go up tenfold. Like, it's just, the pens that ship with these devices are so trash. Like, they're legit so bad. I gotta clean these glasses off. I got so much on them. But yeah, it's so bad, the pens that ship with them. So anything you can get your hands on is gonna be better. Your experience is gonna go up. And the Lamy is a really good pen for the Go 10.3. Even if you buy the Lamy, buy the Palm. I'm gonna put this in the chat for you. Buy the Palm nib. Let's throw this in the chat. So Dr. Ben, if you buy the Lamy with the Palm nib. They have two other nibs that it can come with. That's the best one for the Go 10.3 in my opinion. Other than the ceramic. If you're not going ceramic, the Palm is what I feel like you should go with. All right, Jay says you can avoid that by putting a Supernote Fill-Right 2 film. Yeah, if you put a Fill-Right 2 film on any device, it's gonna and you get a Supernote pen, your experience is gonna go up. It's an ordeal though. Like Jay said, The Rock says, like Jay said on the Go 10.3, if I'm writing block, oh yeah, we already got to that. Aaliyah says, have you tried the Kaweco with the Supernote? What's the writing feel compared to ceramic nib? I haven't tried the Kaweco. It has I think it has a titanium nib, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't tried that pen yet. I found the Lamy and fell in love and have never found a reason to go to anything else, in all honesty. I haven't found anything to beat it. Have you heard of Kaweco before now? Interesting. It's, whoa. Okay. These Ray-Ban glasses went crazy just now. It's a perfect match for the Wacom 1, and that was too light for me too. Yeah. I'm going to start, because of this stuff that just happened, Jay, I'm going to start using the, what pen is that? I'm going to start using the needlepoint pen to write with. Because the line thickness is the same as a normal Supernote pen when you do that. The programming doesn't affect. It's cool because the programming, it seems to only affect when you're doing pressure sensitive stuff. When it's not pressure sensitive, the programming doesn't matter. And I'm gonna do some research on that. And I'm gonna do a whole video on the whole pressure sensitivity Wacom thing. Max says, in the Supernote binary file, the pressures are recorded even when the pen is set to be needlepoint. So in theory, we should be able to switch pens after writing. Well, when I switch pens, it does something funky. So that's why I did what I was doing with the switching. So like, this is the Supernote pen. Oh, only it doesn't happen with this because they're all the same with this. But with the pressure sensitive pen, you have to, there's funky stuff that happens. So now that I chose the pressure sensitive one, which is the top one right here, I'll write with this pen. Now when I go to write with a different pen, it's going to write just like that until I pick it up and then go write again. Now it's darker. You see what I'm saying? So when I switch pens, it doesn't recognize it until the second stroke for some reason. Dr. Ben says, all right, the Palm it is then. You're going to be super happy with that. Durock says, I actually started with the Palm nib, but found it a bit too slick. These Wacom pens are dead easy to switch nibs out though, so try a bunch out. Absolutely. The Palm is what I'd start with just because it's the best nib that ships with the Lamy. The Lamy only has, like they have those three nibs. They have the Palm, they have the EL, which is the rubber tip, the fine tip rubber tip, and then they have the other EL, which is the broad rubber tip. So it's either the palm, which is the plastic, or the rubber tipped. And for these devices, rubber tipped sucks. Max says, what I meant is that a notebook written with the needle point can be converted into a ballpoint afterwards. Oh, how? How? That would be awesome. So you're saying it records the information regardless if it's actually using the information or not. So that information is recorded and can be applied later, I guess is what you're saying. That's awesome. That's awesome. I like that. I like that a lot. I don't know how 2 hours is almost passed. Holy cow. Yeah, so I like that. Yeah, that's a good thought. All right, so what else we got here, chat? Let's see what we got on the options list. Like I said, the IA chat will be coming tomorrow. I just didn't have the time to do the research that I needed to do on it. Been a busy weekend. It was a busy weekend. I streamed every day last weekend. That's not typically what I do. So, but good times though. Good times. Oh, I said December live streams, but nothing's on there. All right, there we go. All right. The Google Pixel Pen. Let's take a look at that. Oh, yeah. RantsaboutTech.com. Support the channel. Buy a t-shirt. Become a member. Members are awesome. Members are awesome. All right, so let's go ahead and check out the... Oh, boy. See, that's part of the research I'm doing for the AI right there. Google Labs has so much stuff. So much AI stuff. Oh, and where? All right, so I'm trying to find the Google Pixel. Google Pixel Pen. Oh boy. All right, so we got the Google Pixel Pen here. Now I wanted to see this because there was a lot of hoopla online about this particular pen, and it's the standard that it's using is what I'm interested in, and I kind of want to take a look at it here. And if I need to talk crap about it, I will. There was a new pen talked about, and now I'm not seeing it. So maybe this was a bad choice. Oh, I don't think that's it. Maybe if I put actually Pixel. How about new Google Pixel stylus? Okay, no, nothing. Chat, I just took us down a dead end street. Oh, maybe not. Is this it? Yep, I definitely took us down a dead end street. Oh, my bad. Oh boy. Yep, my bad, chat. I took us down a dead end street. Yep, this is nothing. Oh, I was told that this was a good story. Let's go on to something else. Let's go on to something else. Actually, let's go to the comments. I've been wanting to do comments for a little while, and we haven't had the opportunity to do that. Actually, what we should do too, we'll shout out the new members real quick, and then we'll do comments. We'll shout out new members and then do comments. That'll be. I mean, we got. Thanks to Mashup Mike, we got tons of new members right here. But let's look at also the comments. Okay, all right. Here we go. All right, these are always fun. I love going over comments. And these are good questions a lot of the times too. And good corrections. Like I get corrected a lot in the comments. 220. You mean like a box cutter? I guess he was referring to the fact that I didn't have anything to cut the. This was a Boox Go Color 7 unboxing I did, and I didn't have anything to cut the box open with. I found a coupon cutter and used that to cut the box open with. It was a good time. um, did Boox fit the Notes app performance, or did Boox fix the Notes app performance issue on the Note Air 4C? And that's what, in reference to the It's Fixed video that I did. And I did respond to this gentleman, let him know that they did not fix the Notes app, but they did fix the crashing problem. That's too bad. I can't get how or why the Notes app works so well on the Note Air 3C and why correcting this issue on the Note Air 4C is proving to so difficult. Absolutely. I agree with that. It's a problem that you didn't think on a more powerful machine you would even have, right? But it's certainly something that we're still dealing with because the performance on the Note Air 4C for the Notes app just isn't where it should be. Oh yeah, can't wait. Mashup. Rush says a Nomad fell short. The Nomad fell short in just things that should work, and this is the same device, just a little larger. PDF sync between devices is a must, and only Remarkable currently does it. Yes, Ratta display with a ceramic nib is awesome, but unfortunately held back by lag. I'm seeing that there's some lag being talked about, and I didn't realize that was a thing. So I'm gonna do some digging into that as well. Let's write that down. Yeah, I did not know lag was a thing. What else we got here? The Remarkable Pro has no lag when writing. All the rest do, no matter how much you try to calibrate. I don't agree with that. I don't think that the Boox products have lag while writing, or the Boox platform. Even if the Remarkable is having an issue right now with some lag, I've never seen that on the Boox platform, except for when you're trying to manipulate text. When you're selecting text and trying to manipulate it, then it can become a hassle. And basically, I was saying I agree with him on everything he was saying except for the lag, because I hadn't noticed it. And then I asked him, in what situation have you found the Boox platform snappy? Because it ain't to me. Bro, has anyone told you look like... Wait, bro, has anyone told you look like you could be MKBHD's older brother? No, they haven't. My son looks like MKBHD, though, oddly enough. Shout out to Dion. Also, kudos on walking us through the process. Now I'm wondering if this can be done with other EMR pins. I like to do something similar with my Norris Jumbo. And what he's in response to was this video I did on a ceramic nib Lamy. And I basically show everybody how to do that process. Creating this pin right here on your own in that video. Super underrated video. Super underrated video. It's getting some love now. I think the word's getting out about the pin that I made. And the word's getting out about it, and people are trying it. So that's awesome. Clearly, because Ratta raised the price of their ceramic nibs. So clearly people are trying this, and they're like, oh, we need to get our money if they're not buying our pins. But we are buying your pins. I found it interesting you kept saying the Go 10.3 could be replaced by, well, this is coming from True. I'm going to call him True. That's true to me. I found it interesting you kept saying the Boox Go 10.3 could be replaced by other devices, but the Supernote can't. What is it doing that is so superior? Still not getting it, and why is it $280 or 30% more in Canada for the Supernote over the Boox? We talked about that on the eStream live stream last night about the pricing abroad for the Supernote is ridiculous. Like, I agree with that. Like, the duties and even just the markups. A lot of things I noticed too, that the Supernote website isn't available in a lot of countries. They have third parties selling or creating sites and selling them on their sites. So that's another thing. So basically, he was asking me why I feel like the Supernote is so superior than the Boox, and why I say that it does things that the Boox can't do. I think that's what he was saying. What makes it so superior? All right, so this is my response. I said, hello and glad you found the conversation interesting. The Supernote is unique in that I don't own another device that can do what it can do. Let's take a look. Organizational tools, writing experience, intuitive user interface. No eInk tablet, iPad, or laptop or computer can match that. It's unique. The Boox platform, and by extension all other platforms, functionality can be duplicated on other devices, and in most cases, the other devices do it better. Just my take on it. If you want more detail, check out the video where I explain more on this. Hope this helps. So basically, I've been saying this, and I'll say it again, that I think the Supernote is the only eInk device that I own that can't be replaced by something else because of the feature set that it has. And I do believe that. Like, I mean, what does a Boox platform product do that my phone can't do? And in some cases do better. What can a Boox product do that my laptop and computer can't do? Or tablet, an iPad, right? So that's my argument right there. That's my argument. I think the Supernote platform does things that nothing else can do. And that's directly related to the software, but also hardware. Because think about this. Think about this writing experience here on this device. The Mobius display, the Feel Right 2 film. Who has that combination? Nobody. Who has that combination and these nice pens? Nobody. You know what I'm saying? The Supernote experience is a unique experience, and it's not just software. Like I just said, the combination of Feel Right 2 and Mobius is unique to just the Supernote platform. Nobody else does that. The hardware as far as the sidebars. What other piece of hardware has things like embedded in the actual hardware itself that helps you with your experience with the device? None. I mean, you could arguably say the trackpad on a laptop is that kind of thing. But I'm just saying, like, these things right here are things you won't get on any other device. And we haven't even talked about the software, right? Nobody's doing what they're doing with the software. Let's go to the chat real quick. $25.30 says, I've been waiting on AI Convo for days now. It's more research than I thought it was going to be, Mr. Media. Way more research than I thought it was going to be. So I'm trying to bring a really good conversation to the table. Without a doubt, no matter what happens tomorrow, we're having an AI conversation because I have it all together. I'm just trying to piece it together in a way that it makes sense because I don't want to confuse anybody with what I'm saying because it's a lot. It's a lot. You want me to get this right. AMZ, and really what this is a test bed for the video I'm going to do on AI. So I'm testing these techniques out on you guys, and then whatever you guys think works, that'll go in the video. But yeah, be ready to take notes because it's a lot. It's a lot. And that was my mistake. I thought I was going to come in here willy-nilly and just go and pull up some site stuff and talk about it. No, because I realized I didn't know as much as I thought I did, and a lot of stuff has happened that I didn't know happened. So, and we're going to have to talk about that. Duroc says AMZ Palm Scribe was the seller. Yeah. Yeah, see, I'm saying it's odd that it's resellers that are doing this, and they're probably jacking the prices up. I wouldn't doubt that. But it's on Ratta to make sure that they stop the gouging. You know what I'm saying? Like they put something in place to discourage that. Dr. Ben says, all right. Thank you for letting me know. Cool. Larry says, I just noticed that you have Saturdays, December 14th for the title. Oh, my goodness. Oh boy, it's good. There we go. We got that fixed. Thanks, brother. I appreciate that. 2 hours in. Where were you 2 hours ago? No. Jay says, although even in Canada it's real bad. Yeah, absolutely. Jay says, I think Supernote doesn't have the corporate resources to negotiate supply chain stuff outside of East Asia and North America. That could be definitely a constraint for sure. The Rock says, for me, a Boox is better than the tablet or laptop at reading and annotates docs. I tried it on a Samsung Tab and it's frustrating and too slippery. Adding a linked notebook is great. It's better than a tablet or laptop at reading and annotating docs. Okay. Not that you couldn't do that on a Supernote, although the reading app is better on the Boox platform. Touche. Good point. Doc says Boox is also best at sheet music reader. Easy to read, can choose whatever reader app and can Bluetooth pair with a page turner. Ooh, nice. And it updates live. Good to know. Yeah, it does. That's awesome. That is good to. I didn't know it would do that, but that's good to know. All right, so yeah, I appreciate that. So yeah, I mean, there's things right that the Boox can do, but my I guess my thing is it can't do. Not that it does it the best. The Supernote, actually that would make it the best for me if it can't do it. But good point, Duroc. What else we got here? Just bought the Nomad and have been exploring pins while I wait and have found that DIY Reddit post and found your video. Another comment on the ceramic nib Lamy video. Just showing people how to create that pin on their own there. A question about the thing you noticed, the Lamy with writing lighter than the normal Supernote pen. Since you made a few extra ceramic Lamys for sale, I assume you tested them before shipping. Did you notice they all consistently write lighter than normal? I'm seriously considering the DIY, but want to know if the light writing is actually a thing, or perhaps specific to the first on-screen build you did on the video. No, the actual, like we just covered here, that is actually a thing. Oh, wow. What is this? Like we covered, yeah, that is actually a thing there. But it's a good thing. It's there for a reason. We figured out that it's pressure sensitivity, or it adds a bit of pressure sensitivity to the situation. But you can get a darker line like the Supernote pens if you just change the pen type to needle. Or on the Boox platform, I guess it would be, what are we looking at here? Something that's not pressure sensitive. Let's see what that would be on the Boox platform here. That would be this one. I think that just says it's just ballpoint pen. Yeah. If you use ballpoint pen, then the line thickness will be the exact same, no matter what pen you use. That's what we kind of unearthed here this morning, going through all the pens here. What's we got here? Let's go to the chat. Dr. Ben says, what are your thoughts on the Wacom felt nibs? I've seen people praise them a lot. I hate felt. It's the most consumable nib you can buy. I mean, I write really hard, so I have to replace them like every week. What did I say? Ballpoint? Yeah, ballpoint pen doesn't do that. It doesn't have pressure sensitivity. I may have mistakenly said something else. Mr. Media says, wait, let's get back to Dr. Ben. Yeah, I don't like felt. Felt is consumable, and it just wears down really quickly to me. And I don't like the way it feels. It reminds me of markers. I was in retail for a long time, and that sound takes me back. And I ain't going back, Dr. Ben. I ain't going back. Mr. Media says, it does seem odd that you say 10.3 is the best display of the eInk device today, but Supernote is better. Well, this is how I rationalize that. So when I say the Go 10.3 is the best, it doesn't have the best screen. So don't get me wrong. I don't want to confuse anyone by thinking that I think that. I don't. I think that it has a good screen. It shows eInk the best. Is it the best screen? No, it's a Carter 1200 display. and it's Carter 1300 on the Manta. So technically, by tech specs, it is a technically inferior screen. So it doesn't have the best screen, but eInk looks the best on here, in my opinion. It just looks the best, and I think that has to do with how bold the UI and everything looks on here. So it doesn't have the best screen, and I don't think that it has the best screen. I think that this device right here, the Manta, has the best screen on the market right now. With that Feel Right 2 film, the Mobius display, the Mobius substrate, the backplane, and the Carter 1300, it's the best. It's the best backplane you can get. It's the best front plane you can get, and it's the best writing surface you can get. So screen-wise, the Manta would be the best, technically and feel-wise. But the eInk doesn't look as good as it does on the 10.3 to me. So that's the distinction I'm making. So that's how I feel about that. I also happen to think that the Go 10.3 as a device is really good. Just an overall package. I don't think it's the best in any one particular area. It's not the best in any one particular area. But as a complete package, oh man, it's really good. It's really good. Let's finish the chat here. Mr. Media says from a few of these takes on the Manta, it seems like the Go 10.3 is a better choice. Overall, it got last night we talked about our device of the year, and that goes to the 10.3 for me. My device of 2024 is the 10.3, the Go 10.3. I don't have an experience with the A5 device, and I'm just getting the A5X, so I don't have enough experience with it to put it over the 10.3. So right now, the 10.3 is still my favorite device of 2024. The Rock says it's because Boox is a Nintendo of e-readers joke. Heard it on your roundtable yesterday. To me, Boox is the Nintendo. No, I was saying Supernote is the Nintendo. Supernote is the Nintendo of the e-ink industry. They do it. They like Nintendo. Nintendo does their own thing. Nintendo release hardware with underpowered specs. They don't care. They release crazy controllers and hardware stuff that some people might consider gimmicky. They don't care. Because everything they do is in furtherance of the software. Same with Supernote. Every decision they make is in furtherance of this awesome software that they make. They make the best software. And Nintendo, arguably, makes the best games. And if we're talking about first-party games, there's no competition. Nintendo destroys every other first-party attempt from Sony or Microsoft. So, yeah. Yeah, they're the Supernote of the... they're the Nintendo of the e-note, of the e-ink market. Mr. Media says, I get the Manta has better screen and pen combo, but honestly, they are both a premium writing experience, especially when you upgrade the pen. Yes, when you upgrade the pen, yes. Because the Go 10.3 was my favorite writing experience until the Manta came out. Matter of fact, the Go 10.3 was my favorite writing experience until the Viwoods came out. Then the Viwoods was, because it has a Mobius and it feels incredible. But now the Supernote is taking that crown for me. Mr. Ben says, that felt sound be activating retail. Word! You hit the nail on the head, Dr. Ben. That's that post retail stress disorder. I'm telling you, hearing that felt is like, oh, I'm not going back. Jay says, the Go 10.3 isn't the best display, but it's very good for the cost. Yes, it's not the best display. I just think e-ink looks the best on it, for sure. Yeah, the UI in high contrast mode looks really good. Yes, that's what I'm saying. It's technically not the best screen, but the image it produces, once you do, it's just, and you can't tweak you can't tweak the UI on a Supernote device, or maybe I consider it the best looking UI because I can maybe darken some elements up and bold something, but you don't have that flexibility that you have on the Boox platform, on the Supernote platform, which is why I say it ain't the best screen, but it looks the best. The Rock says, it's true. Voya did a side-by-side of writing on several devices. Boox has really good anti-aliasing that display writing really well, both on screen and exported. Yes. It makes stuff look really good. Like I said, I've been saying this for months now. The Go 10.3 is eInk's best representation of what it is capable of doing, despite it not having the best screen, despite it not having the fastest processor, despite it not having the biggest screen, despite it not having a front light, color, despite it not having a fingerprint reader, despite it not having BSR, despite all of these things, its combined package puts it above everything else for me. The lightness, oh my God. And the writing surface is good. It's good. Adori, how's it going? Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the show. Did you get to experience the titanium alloy nibs? I see them being sold for Boox pen. I have not tried the titanium. I haven't tried the titanium yet. You know what? I'm going to put that on my list, though. Because a few people want to know my take on titanium. So I'm going to go ahead and do that so I have an answer for the next time I hear it. Thank you, Aduri. I appreciate that. Jay says Supernote hardware, like the CPUs, etc., is low spec like Nintendo for now, but supposedly Supernote is working on a X3 hardware update next. We'll see. Adori, I use the titanium nib in my Stadler for my Note F4C and feels great. Same for my Go 10.3 with the Supernote film on it. Awesome. Adori, thanks, Jay. All right, here we go. So we're caught up on the chat. Awesomeness. Let's see what else we got here. We got any other interesting comments to go through here? Entry Line says, thanks for the shout out. That was an awesome post. I appreciate that. Entry Line from Reddit. I absolutely love this video. Thank you for sharing. That was the nib video there. All right, from a happy Pinstar user, I am very interested in handwriting convert to text functions. I understand that the device can do so without being on Wi-Fi network. And we're talking about the Supernote. I am very mobile support person and often without a connection and would like to be able to convert to text on the fly. The second question is, how bad is the palm rejection? One of the best things about the Pinstar is perfect palm rejection. I've tried both the Remarkable and the Go 10.3 and neither meet my expectations. Which is a fair point. Pinstar, pen only device. You never have to worry about palm rejection. Doing a good spot for a lot of people, and has the brightest display of any eInk tablet. I will keep saying that. That is a shining light of the Pinstar eNote for me. The brightest. If you care about contrast, that's got it for you. I have actually, you know what? Let's look at. You know what? Oh boy, where's the noise coming from? Okay. Oh, there we go. Holy cow! All right, there we go. My bad, you guys. All right, let's take a look at that real quick though. We're gonna test the background brightness, and I'm actually gonna be doing that test today after I finish the unboxing video, which is like a movie. It's a small movie. It's not even a video. It's a small movie. Let's check this out here. All right, so that's this is the background brightness that we're dealing with the Pinstar. Like, you know what's weird, and you can see it. You can see it right here. I think this is so cool about the eNote is that it's the only device whose screen is brighter than the border. Like, can we see in this? The border is a darker gray than the actual screen is. The only device where the border is darker than the actual screen. But anyway, so we can see here. What we got here? So we can see here that the eNote is, you know, a spot brighter than the A5X2 right here. It just has the brightest display. Like for contrast sake, like if you like contrast, that's the one. That's the one. The display is just so bright, and it's like that because it doesn't have the Wacom layer. So the pen to display distance is even like smaller than other devices. Let's put this over here for now. I like mentioning that. Makes me feel good. He said dance party. I still think the Pen Star would be perfect with a keyboard and a lot more RAM. Jay, I'm bringing that up to them. I actually wrote them an email talking about that. Because I thought, when you said that the last time, I thought, dang, that is a perfect solution. That would solve a lot of problems. That would solve my problem with if they had a keyboard with a small trackpad, just a very small. It wouldn't have to be big, but just something that makes manipulating your PDFs when you're viewing them a little less cumbersome than using the pen and having to zoom. If they had a small trackpad where you could pinch and zoom and kind of move the image, oh my goodness! If their keyboard, if their case, their folio was a keyboard, oh my goodness! Like I said, I mentioned it to them in an email. I mean, I hope they take heed to that, because that would change the game for them. Andrew, how's it going? On Supernote, can I save notes to my OneNote and then open those notes in Word on PC and continue adding to the doc, typing, and then open it back up on Supernote and continue writing? No, it doesn't work that way. When it's exported, it's more like a backup. There's not much exchanging between that file after that. It's converted to a PDF, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, no. You can back up, but you won't be able to manipulate a written file. Am I right on that, chat? You can't manipulate a written file on the PC. Like you won't be able to just pick it up and start writing from the Supernote if it's backed up. Because they use a special file format that is not recognized, and from what I understand, on OneNote. Let me know, chat. Mr. Media says, I just want you to know your rant about these adapters after your Saturday live stream was hilarious. Yo, I don't think anyone saw that. Yo, I went in. I was irate about those adapters because they just don't work. Those adapters just don't work. Like, and I can't stand it. Adori says, on Boox can convert the writing to text before syncing, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. I thought you meant manipulate the handwriting. Yeah, but once you convert it to text and send that out, it's not in the format for the Boox platform anymore. Perfect. Thanks for that. Been hard to get an answer. Adori says, and then I suppose he can edit it in Word. On Boox, you can convert the writing to text before sync. Yep, you can do that. And you can edit in Word after that, but you won't be able to take it, put it back on your device and keep doing the back and forth. You won't be able to do that. All right. What else we got here? I think that's the only comments that were like pressing. Ed can't believe I don't like the Heart of Metal 2. I like the Heart of Metal 2. I hate that it dropped once and broke on me. The weight was definitely a negative in that aspect. All right, so here we go. I love the features on the Boox Note Air 4C, and this is 2 days ago. So I like to stop at 2 days though. After 1 day, we're going to stop at the comments. But this is the last one. And feel the Supernote pens. Does the usage of Supernote Metal pen over Boox 4C have any negative impact on the screen over time? And I think we talked about this earlier in the stream too, and it doesn't have any negative effect on the actual device. using a ceramic nib on any Boox product. I've used a ceramic nib on all the Boox products I have, Tab and Note, and no issues. All right, wow. All right, so basically, you guys, I want to make sure that we know that I am doing the AI tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be the AI show. We're going to go ahead and let's go ahead and get the outro going. There we go. All right, so that's going to end the show for us today, you guys. We're going to do the AI tomorrow for sure. The AI is happening without a doubt tomorrow. We're also going to get into what I'm going to do too. I'm going to do a live setting up the Bamboo printer and going through my first experience with that. So we're going to do a live with that. So maybe there's some people in the chat who can help me out with that experience. I know Max's son has the printer that I have. I think I actually have the Mini. This is the Bamboo Mini. But he has one of the Bamboo Lab printers, and maybe it'll be a good time, and I'll get some help with that during that live stream. But yeah, AI tomorrow. No matter what happens tomorrow, we're doing AI. And like I said, the only reason we haven't done it now is because it's so in depth, and I want to make sure I present it in a really decent way. I'm trying to make my live streams more video-ish like, with more presentation value to them, and maybe get the information out in a more a better way. Okay, yeah, there we go. Yeah, definitely. I appreciate you guys joining me. Thanks for joining the live stream again. Don't forget to come tomorrow, AI Talk. But until then, everybody have a great day and take care.